fishingfloridawater.com episode. We're going to be talking about the conventional reel. This here is a Penn International 50 VISW. It's on a Bill Fisher rod. It is 5'6", and it's a pretty beast of a setup for what I use it for. I mean, it's like my top setup I use. So this setup here, I would typically be using for grouper, if I'm going for grouper, like gag groupers or anything really big, even some big tarpon. So I mean, this is something you would pretty much see on a if you're going deep sea fishing. This is something you would use for trolling or deep sea. This is not something that is easy to cast out there by new people at all. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend trying to cast this out. This is something that you would basically try to either free line this thing out there, or just straight drop it into the water and let the current take your bait with you, whether you're using live bait or you're using cut bait. And this reel is equipped with 200 pounds of PowerPro Green Moss Braid, and it also has I believe this is a 130 pound mono topshot, is what it has for the line on it. The reel itself, and just to give you a general idea, it depends on where you get it from, and I guess the color of it and stuff, is about like a $700 reel, conventional reel. The rod itself, I don't know any place you can buy the Bill Fisher. I got this thing at a local bait and tackle shop, and it ran me about $100. So it holds between 100 and 130 pounds of line, so it's able to hold line in that range. Is ideal for this type of rod. So anyways, this as I was mentioning, this setup here is the one that I use ideally for whenever I'm going to go and fish for big fish like tarpon or grouper or anything that is going to require a lot of horsepower to bring it in. Now, that's not to say that, you know, some other reels, you know, some other spinning reels you couldn't use to catch gag grouper and stuff like that. But this is my biggest setup that I use, and depending on what type of size bait I use or how I'm fishing will depend on how I'm going to use this rod and reel for fishing. So typically with this one, I will either free line this reel, or I will just basically a knocker rig, which is where I will just set up a sinker on the leader and let it straight drop down off of a bridge or a pier. And if I have live bait on, I'll just let the bait swim out with the tide that I have and do it that way, or I'll just free line. And that's the way that I prefer to fish this type of setup here. So that's this setup here, which is the conventional reel, which is pretty big. I mean, ideally this reel is, you know, for the size of my hand. I don't know if you can see that or not, how big this reel compares up to the size of my hand, but it's not the biggest at all. Don't get me wrong, it's not the biggest, but it's definitely not a reel that I recommend for anybody who is planning to do any fishing where you're not wanting to just drop it straight down. So this one here is something more that I'd recommend for somebody that's long-term fishing and planning to catch big fish and stuff. Chances are you won't need a reel like this at all if you're going deep sea fishing, because chances are the charter already offers a reel similar to this anyway. So anyways, if you have any questions for me, you can feel free to leave them down in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe today, and hopefully I can get some more videos out. and talk to y'all more about fishing reel setups and stuff like that. But that's it for now. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to see y'all in my next episode.